I'm here to try to make you look your best. I want you to be on your A game. The reality is that a lot of you already are good looking. A lot of you already are handsome, right? And it's not just your mom and I that think that. Like, I'm just telling you the truth here. The problem is there's certain habits that you perform on the daily that are really destroying your perception. It's destroying how you look. You could be looking 10 times more attractive if you stop these 6 habits. Let's hop into it. Number 1, covering your mouth as you speak. This is probably the worst habit I see people do, especially when they're nervous. The first thing they'll do is they'll start covering their mouth. See, when you do that, you're just sending a signal that A, you got something to hide, or B, you're too timid. See, either way, when you're communicating with someone, you don't want any sort of interruption between your mouth and that other person. The more direct, the more confident you can look when you speak, the more you will convince people. See, people want to know that you stand behind what you're saying. When you start covering your mouth like this, it's like you're holding back. It's like you got something to hide. Number 2, being late. Or even worse, being a flaker. You got to understand, let's say you're on a first date. That first impression is everything. I don't care how good looking you are. I don't care how tall, chiseled, and how much money you have in the bank. If you pull up late or you end up flaking on that date last minute, I promise you, this girl's never gonna give you a second chance. Don't be a flaker. And by the way, nobody even likes flakers, all right? You guys are party poopers. You guys bring down all sorts of... Nobody wants to invite you anywhere because you're always dipping out last minute. See, the best thing you can do, especially on a first date situation, you're really trying to impress this girl. You want this girl to think you're a 10-10. I want you to arrive early. You say 7 o'clock to dinner, you're there 6:50. See, being early, being punctual is just a sign of respect of other people's time. Number 3, not showering in the morning. Look, I am 27 years old and I still don't understand how people do this. How do you just roll out of bed? You just sweat for about 10 hours. So you were sweating all night as you slept. You were rolling around in that sweat and that oil. Now you're gonna roll out of bed all musty. Like, people can tell you haven't showered. And you're about to do another 10 hours of the day. So you're gonna go 20 hours completely unshowered. I don't know. I just think that's unhygienic. But on top of that, you're not looking your best, bro. Like, you are destroying your attractiveness. People can tell you're musty, bro. You need to understand that your scent is the one thing you can't control. How good you smell, you have 100% control over, and it has 100% effect on how good you can look. This is why that proper shower in the morning, it's invaluable. Number 4 is being mean, bro. You need to understand that how you treat others, that's how people are gonna think you treat them. When you're on a date, when you're with a girl, don't think you look like a badass or like a tough dude by screaming at your barista just because she screwed up something on your drink. She gave you almond milk and you wanted whole milk. You look like a brat. Don't scream at your server just because the food might be a little bit cold. See, anybody that's in a service position, you should never treat less than, even though they're there to serve you, even though that's your job, the way you treat others will be a strong reflection into who you are as a person. And I promise you, it doesn't matter how attractive you are, you'll look instantly uglier as soon as you're mean to somebody else. 5, it's stuttering. See, you need to understand that when you speak, there needs to be conviction. When you speak, people need to believe it. But if you speak and you start stuttering and you start looking all over the place, or you speak very, why am I stuttering? You speak very low, people start having like this trust against you. Like you're not standing behind every word you're saying. See, when you're in conversation with someone, the most attractive thing that can happen is that you'll be captivated by what they're saying, because you fully believe whatever's coming out of their mouth. And the best way to project this is through conviction. And you can do this by controlling your speech. See, when you slow down and really think about what you're going to say next, you're not going to stutter, right? You're not going to speak low. You're going to control your output, and that's going to control the conversation and make you look more confident. Number 6 is not sleeping. See, it's incredible to me how people to this day make not sleeping or not sleeping enough a whole personality trait. Like, it's a cool thing that you're not sleeping enough. Boys, you need to understand, not even if you're not hitting at least that 6-hour mark, all sorts of problems start occurring. memory loss. You feel more groggy. There's a lack of energy. There's been studies that it can lead to depression. You feel more sad. You lack creativity. All these problems started coming into play. On top of, not to mention what it does to your skin. Your skin looks dull and saggy and tired, and you get puffy eyes. Talk about looking and feeling less attractive. Boys, your sleep, that's when you regenerate. That's when you look your best. Finally, number 7 is doing nothing. Literally doing nothing at all, because see, laziness is probably the ugliest trait anybody can have. When you get up and decide to do something about your life, when you start thinking, man, I'm gonna work on my image, I'm gonna work on my style, I'm gonna work on my charisma, on my confidence, I'm gonna work on my body, I'm gonna work on my health, I'm gonna work on my bank account, what's gonna end up happening is that you're gonna be so self-consumed in all these aspects of your life, you're not gonna have time to pity yourself, to wallow around it, how bad you look or how unattractive you are. You're gonna be so hyper-focused in fixing every area of your life that as those areas are improving and going on the come up, you're actually gonna increase your own self-perception. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. And now, my guy, now you're probably an attractive stud. And that's basically it for this week's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to drop us a like down below. Also, boys, if you guys want to check out our Santa Lucia collection, it'll be linked down below as well. That's it for your boy. See you next time.